So, welcome to the day that changes your life. Today, we're going to learn how to roar like a lion. So that way, when it comes to expressing our true masculinity, which isn't seeing red and blacking out and dishonorably beating a known weaker foe, it's being able to have the strength and virility to stand up against all odds, where you don't know if you're actually going to survive this fight, or if someone comes from you behind because they're a coward and wouldn't face you head on, or they're typing on their keyboards. They got something wrong with them. But this is going to show you how to get rid of that aspect of your social anxiety for good, because all too often we tell ourselves and we're made to believe that either we have to be violent in the sense of take down everybody, even those weaker than us, but there's no honor in that. The only honor comes from facing somebody as strong as you or stronger than you, or being able to withstand an attack that came from behind because someone's a coward, or they're just trying to stab you in the back. That's what honor is. Okay. Hopefully all the cowards have left my video. And if you're still here, let's continue. So today we're going to warm up the voice. And we're going to do something very simple just so you can understand how to roar. Okay, it's going to really enable you to, in your own self-practice of meditation, allow you to, on your own terms, be able to release the suppressed divine masculine that has been attacked in our society for a good reason, because we've come from a sense of long history of bombing each other for no reason, wanting to conquer each other's lands, when this land is all of our lands. We are all one people. And once we can finally have the strength to stand up and say this and find it out in ourselves, then we can actually make this place a better place for everybody. So we're going to begin with a few little exercises. So we're going to open up the throat. First, I want you to just massage your jaw right here. It's called the mastador, something like that shit. You don't got to know the names, but you have a jaw muscle right here. If you can find it out, if you clench, and you'll feel it, you see it. You want to massage that down because it gets tight from chewing and also holding in a lot of emotion and anger there, holding back. So you want to just real briefly loosen that up, get it in now to the chin of the jaw. Then you want to go under your neck here. This is actually the tongue. So under your chin is actually where the tongue is. This is the tongue, which also gets tight and holds it back. If you ever heard the saying, the cat got your tongue, this is quite similar to that. And then I want you to just real briefly take hold of your Adam's apple voice box and just go side to side, real loose, side to side. And there's a muscle right above the Adam's apple called the hyoid muscle. That is actually the only muscle in your body that is not connected to anything and can freely move, which further gets into the metaphor of what the voice is. Because when we look at it, what is voice? It is just air pressure and vocal cord stimulation. The vocal cords actually do not have any nerve endings in them. So when I'm speaking, it doesn't feel like anything because there's actually no nerve endings in there, which also can be the reason why you may be having vocal damage, which you don't want to get from doing this technique, because the way that you can roar healthily is what I'm teaching you. That's why we're starting out like this. And we're going to use a different set of vocal cords, but first we want to get the vocal cords warmed up, and the free expression does not involve any other muscles of our body, and it shows us and it allows us to come at one with the breath, which is closest to the creator, and beyond our mind and body, beyond the flesh and blood. So that's why getting in tune with the voice is going to help you get in tune with your inner nature and bring it out to the outer world. And your most expressed, truest, divine nature is expressed without any clenching of these muscles, because if you have any clenchings of these muscles, it's a sign that you're holding back somewhere, and you have to go inside of yourself and do some yoga and meditation to understand, why am I holding back there? What is the reason? And you'll find out through your daily living what circumstances may be holding you back there, what childhood traumas. But really, we're trying to get into the present moment, and we're bridging ourselves into the present moment, and this is going to be the best way to find our masculinity. So once you're done massaging this and you have that mindset now, go ahead and massage your throat here, the bones leading to the esophagus. Now this is a portal gateway to the lungs and also to your stomach. You could check out my full body breathing video that I just posted. I'll link that in the description of this video for more information on that complete breathing, masculine breath. So once we warmed up now that for a little bit, we're gonna stand up now. And we're just gonna go side to side of our body like this. Oh, get the spine loose, flexible, get it nice and cracking. Feel it from your toes to your hips. Feel your knees. Get the lower spine moving, cracking out any kinks that need to be released. And now we're going to look up. Now I already did this part for 20 seconds in the morning when I'm doing my mouthwash. 20 seconds this side, 20 seconds this side. So I do 20 seconds this way, 20 seconds that way, 20 seconds this way for my mouthwash. You can pause the video and do 20 seconds each side. Once you did that, let's do 3 neck circles each side. Oh yeah. Oh, go nice and slow. I'm going a little faster because I practice this. And the slower you get, the more in tune you'll get with the anatomy that you behold. Oh. And maintain your residence in. Oh. You can give yourself a little shoulder circles. 3 is fine. We're not doing a whole workout. We're just warming up the voice, getting everything loosened. Oh, go a little side to side. Just feel good, loosen up. Now we're ready. So you can go ahead and sit back down. And sometimes it's good to stand up, depending on what aspect of your training are you in. But if you're just looking for a release in a vocal meditation, you could sit down. Because it's going to allow you to relax more. But if you wanted to go further into these trainings, you would want to practice standing up eventually once you can relax sitting down, because it's going to enable more activation and it's going to enable you to activate more of your stomach muscles, which is going to give you more power. So from there, we want to do a little breath warm up. And something we're going to do is this. I'm going to breathe in, and we're going to make a sound. You could either do that one, you can do a yawn, you can do one of these. And the whole point is you want to find a little bit of resistance with the air coming out and the lips. When you do the yawn, it actually opens up everything. And it's like a full body stretch for the throat. But it also activates your lungs and gets some air into the organs as well through the esophagus. So you have those three, or you can do just to get the resistance going, or you can do tongue trill to get the resistance going, or you can do to get the breath activated, or you can go. And you don't want to feel any holding patterns. You want to loosen up. If you feel something tight, that's when you want to bring your consciousness and awareness to that and use the air without the muscles. So all the parts that we touched in the beginning, you want to see if they are tightening up while you do that panting. And that's it for the breathing exercises. You definitely want to start out with that. But my favorite is this one. I mostly do this one. You want to find the one that works for you the best, and you might want to use different ones different days, but then you have this one. So this is my favorite. I like this one. So we could do a big breath in 3 times, and this is combining the one. You could even combine this with the yawn, but you don't want to breathe into the shoulder, so you can keep your hands. If I had my other hand, I would put my other hand on my other shoulder. And you don't want to go. You want to 2, 3. And then we're going to do 6 little breaths. And you can see that combines the pant. That's why I like this one the most. It has a lot of combinations of all those exercises. Then we're going to do 2 in. 2 big. And then 6 pants. Then 1 in. Six pants. After that, just let it go. Now we're going to get on to using our voice. So once you set up the breath, now you are able to set up the voice. And we can do it many different ways, but for this exercise and warm up, we're going to do it this way. So this is what is known as the vacuum or muffled trumpet sound. And it sounds like this. You're not looking for the same note as me. You're looking for your own note. So you hit pause, and I just want you to do it in your talking voice and go for 6 seconds. Do that twice. Then we're going to go for 8 seconds. In for 2, out for 8. Again. Out. Let the breath reset. Now we're going to go in for 10. So in for 2. One more time. In for 2. Let it go. Now we're going to do one last one, and we're going to attempt to do 20 seconds. If we can't do 20, 15 is sufficient. But if you can't hum or make a sound for 15 seconds, you definitely want to work on that before you move on to the more aggressive roar approach that we're going to get to, so you don't hurt yourself. And you may hurt yourself at first, but just know, come back to this video and get back to the technique. So let's try it in for 20. let's will ourselves to maintain 20 seconds. And you're never going to hold a note longer than that in music and for a roar, you know. So if you got 20 seconds down, you're good. Even 15 seconds is enough. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do little slides up and down just to warm the range. Now we're going to move up and down just a little bit. We're not going to go all the way to the head voice. We're just going to stay in the speaking register. We're going to do something like that with the muffled trumpet/vacuum sound. Now the power of this exercise, that it actually shows you how to have the air coming out and maintain the air pressure in, because that's actually how you want to sing. You don't want to sing like or you don't want to roar like you want to maintain an air compression, and this is going to train you how to hold on to the note instead of release it. So, and this is the trick. This is the technique. Go inside of yourself and within and discover this. So now we're going to move up and down just a little bit. We're not going to go into the head voice, like I said, but we're going to go up and down a little bit, like so. And if you heard, I had a little vocal fry underneath, which sounded like this. And that is actually the best way to connect your vocal cord from chest to head. So let's try that again. Let's do that again. Up and down. Let it rest. And now we're going to hit the head voice a little bit. It's easier to come down to the low than going from low to the high. So let's just hit a head voice, which sounds something like, if you can't do that, just think like, or like, This is going to allow you to do high screams, because underneath the high scream is a and if you're not hitting it right, you're going to mess your throat up. So let's warm that up so that way we can do the scream in all of our range. So let's go. And really play around with the function of this tool, because you may think that it's going to automatically do it and that you're perfect and that, like, oh, if I can't do this, then the teacher must be wrong. But as the teacher, I'm telling you to go ahead and explore a little bit, because most likely you're not going to be right. You know, your ego wants to think that you're going to be right, but you have to surrender your ego if you really want to get to know this technique and explore it. So explore what you may be doing wrong. Is the air pressure balancing enough? Are you pushing out too much? Are you even doing any negative air pressure back in? Are you doing too much holding back in? There's all different ways, and this is what a vocal session with me would talk about, and I would help you get personally. But let's go into this. So we're going to do little slides up and down in the head voice. So as you've seen what I did there, I was starting my head voice. And there's not a race, there's no challenge to go higher and higher. You want your voice, you're warming up your voice means just relaxing everything from your natural high to your natural low. you have your own vocal expression and you're not trying to be anything else. You're allowing yourself to be yourself. This is what expression is. Expression is not copying or being somebody else. Though you may look up and admire people when you have a deactivated voice, but once you're trying to activate your own voice, like an Atlantis machine through your heart, you find your own voice and you have your own range. So you don't want to feel anything. You don't want to feel any reaching up and you don't want to feel any reaching down. You want to just open up your own vocal range, which is what warming up does. It allows you to just do it without thinking there's anything in between it. So as you've seen, I started from head, and with each one I went down just a little further as I came back up, and down just a little further until eventually I can go all the way up into my range. So do this for 3 times. And in that vocal fry, 'cause you know we're gonna sing. So do that one more time. Eventually you can work on having the vocal fry in that, so it would sound like and that vocal fry is going to allow you to know how to hit an aggressive scream without forcing too much air out, because when you force too much air out, you're going to make the vocal cords hit themselves too much and they're going to swell and you're going to lose your voice. You don't want to be too scared about this. You want to get it done, but you know, once you're realizing something's hurting or you sound a little hoarse, you just back off and you say, okay, I've done enough. And the technique will work with you as long as you work with it, okay? And eventually it'll ingrain in your muscular nervous system, and your muscle memory will allow you to hit this faster and faster and faster each day, each time you disciplinedly practice this. So let's get into the meat of this. So now we're gonna get into the screaming part. We wanted to warm that up so we get the blood flowing, get everything relaxed, and we're now able to do this. So with this same sound, we're gonna make a sigh, like we just got done some work, or like someone really got us aggravated and we're just holding our breath back, and we're just like or just maybe we're stretching, like that's how you want to think about it. So but we're gonna do the whole breath back with it, okay? So go like this. Okay, then we want to step back a little bit. Whoa. Get a little breath. Maybe get some water if you need to. And what you're going to look for is that same feeling. But with the... As you see. You're hitting a vocal cord above your vocal cord. It's called the false chord. There's little flesh in there that is above the voice box that enables you to go. It is not your vocal cords doing that sound. So safely, we practice with and that is the way that you cleanly do that. Now, if you really need to release something out, I don't want to do this. I got my sister and her friend upstairs and my grandma down below, so I don't want to disturb them. I don't like doing that when they're here. But let's go ahead and, if you have a forest nearby where you can go ahead and do this, or if you're home alone, you can do this, or go out back real quick and just go. And at the end of the day, I want you to feel the actual feeling from your heart, what you need to roar out and get that shit out. Now, if you had any trouble with this, you can hit me up for a session and we'll go ahead and see where we can deal with your own unique disposition and go back and study what I said. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'll talk to you soon.
Even when you're not around.